rehearsal for a life that is yours to lead.
School Matters with Sumaya Khan.
Still the whole world could.
Masisondele, phila noxolo, yelele.
Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. You can say it once or 100 times or more. You feel at peace inside and it'll open every door. That's the power of remembering Allah. It's the best way to purify your heart. And know you will be loved by the merciful one. 'Cause that's the power of remembering Allah. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. So much you can gain just by saying those few words. You can renew your faith and be showered in reward. Oh, that's the power of remembering Allah. It's the best way to purify your heart. And know you will be loved by the merciful one. 'Cause that's the power of remembering Allah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. Alhamdulillah, wallahu akbar.
Masisondele, masisondele kuyuwala. Ukulubu sito, sizotolo bila. Tolotina, tolotina. That's the power of remembering Allah. It's the best way to purify your heart. Oh, that's the power of remembering.
Assalamu alaikum and a warm welcome to School Matters with me, Sumaya Khan. To all our listeners tuning in, yes, our grade 12 learners have officially crossed the halfway mark of their matric exams. A big milestone and a moment of encouragement for every learner and parents out there. As part of our annual tradition going on for almost, I'll say more than a decade, here on School Matters, we host special editions, segments featuring qualified grade 12 examiners, markers, and experienced tutors who share expert insight, tips, and guidance to help our learners excel. And today we're diving into one of the key subjects, Afrikaans. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss the advice, tips, and on-air tuition coming up. We are so blessed to have two experienced, seasoned educator. We have NATASHA, PILLAY, a senior Afrikaans educator, and SC marker, and also Priyanka Palul, also an Afrikaans educator. She's no first time to School Matters. You did paper 1, was it right? Paper 1. Yeah, you were here. Welcome to School Matters.
Hi, Sumaya. How are you?
Good.
Good evening
And,
to our listeners as
you know,
well.
I appreciate you guys coming because I know y'all are so busy at school currently. When does the exam finish?
For Afrikaans learners, it's on Friday this
Friday.
week. Yeah.
And the entire grade 12 exams around what, the 25th?
25th,
25th.
hospitality, yes.
So, but the stress still carries on for you guys, until the results are out.
Until, yes, correct.
So you're always writing matric exams. It's like
it's over and over.
like I have a joke. I say for the rest of my life until I'm retired, I still have to polish my school shoes and still go to school and still get up early. So
Yes.
unfortunately, y'all will be writing matric exams every single year. Right. So
correct.
both you guys will be doing Afrikaans. Could you just briefly say what you're doing and you can comments?
Okay. I want to start with the kadukta because there's quite a bit that our learners need to focus on. So on Tomens, you need to know that this particular paper consists of 70 marks. You have 2.5 hours, which is more than enough time for you to complete the paper. Okay, from the outset, I want to make this very clear. As Afrikaans educators, we have no idea which poems will be coming out in the exam. We only get to see the paper once you have written the paper. So you cannot ask us what poems are going to be there. We've learned this year 10 poems. You have no choice but to learn all 10 poems. Leer die sleutelwoorde vir elke gedak. Draw mind maps. Summarize your notes into simple Afrikaans. For the first time, our learners have access to the just-in-time booklet for paper 1, 2, and 3. Our sincere thanks goes out to our subject advisor, Mr. Mervyn Parlin, and his dedicated team for putting this booklet together for us. So now, in this particular booklet, op bladsy 58, moet leerders die tegniese elemente van die gedikte goed leer. Reg, soos die assonansie, die alliterasie. Reg, en julle moet die funksie hiervan goed ken. Byvoorbeeld, dit maak die gedik klankryk, ritmies en musikaal. Dan is daar die denotatiewe of die denotasie, die letterlike betekenis. Byvoorbeeld, as ek sê ek is blou, ek bedoel my vel is blou, reg? Maar as ek vir die konnotatiewe betekenis kyk, dan beteken dit ek is treurig, ek is hartseer. Reg. Dan is daar ook die ellips. Dis 'n sin met wat onvoltooid is, woorde wat weggelaat is, en die funksie daarvan is om spanning te bou. So an ellipsis is a sentence that's incomplete where words are left out. Also, it's there to build suspense. Die leser te laat dink. It's for you to figure out what's going to happen next. Then you've got elisie, die verkorting van twee woorde. Byvoorbeeld, jy het, ought to have been, jy het. So the function thereof is om die ritme van die gedig te behou, to maintain the rhythm of the poem. Okay, then you get different types of poems. Jy het vrye vers, waar daar is geen vaste rympatroon nie, of 'n sonnet, dit bestaan, is 'n gedig wat bestaan uit 14 reels, of 'n ballade, soos ken jy die see, die heks van Heksrivier. Reg, dis 'n liriese gedig. Nog 'n ding wat julle moet onthou is die ruimte, die plek waar die toneel afspeel. Reg, byvoorbeeld in die gedig die hardloper, waar vind dit plaas? Dan is dit in die atletiek baan, on the athletic track. Okay, then you've got your imagery, your vergelyking, your metafoor en personifikasie. This you need to know very well because it's always a 2-mark question where they ask you, identificeer die beeldspraak. So you'll have to identify it and then explain that particular beeldspraak. You also get to inversion, which is omgekeerde woordorde. Byvoorbeeld, breek uit die klein sproeireën. Here we find this in that 'n particular poem sproeien is om die woord breek aan die begin van die sin te beklemtoon. Okay, so very quickly, for each of the poems, you need to go over the following. Die titel, se betekenis en kapasiteit, en die tema of the central idea of the poem. Byvoorbeeld, die gedig Die Hardloper. A possible question in the exam could be, hoe sluit die titel van die gedig by die inhoud van die gedig aan? How does the title of the poem link to the content of the poem? So here you'll say, die titel van die gedig, Die Hardloper, is die hardloper. En die inhoud van die gedig gaan oor die hardloper wat in 'n wedloop deelneem. So you'll say basically that the title of the poem is The Runner, and the content of the poem is about a runner that is participating in a marathon. Okay, then you need to know the stemming or the mood of the poem. I broke it down very quickly for you. For example, Sproeireen en die Dans van die Reën. The mood of these two particular poems, jy kan sê dit is vrolik, terwyl die Hansworts, haar uitvaart, die heks van Heksrivier, is almal hartseer, dis treurig, dis swaarmoedig. Krisis, eksamenlokaal en ken jy die see? Ons kan sien hier dat die toon ernstig is. Die hardloper, dis intens of spannend. En wetenskapmannetjies, the spottend, it's mocking, reg. Thereafter, you need to go over all your Afrikaans and English line by line analysis. Use your notes, simplify your answers in such a way that you will be able to remember it in a simple English sentence. Then translate it into Afrikaans. Okay. Also, what's important for you to note is die boodskap. Die boodskap of the message of each poem. Watter les leer jy uit elke gedig? Vir krisis is dat hoof en hart moet saamwerk om besluite te maak. Here, your mind and the heart must work together om besluite te maak. Die hardloper, 'n mens moet voluit lewe ten spyte van die naderende dood. So if you said a person must live life to the fullest despite their approaching death. Something close to that. Die Hansworts, it teaches us, moenie op mense neerkyk nie. Don't look down at people. Ons verstaan nie waardeur almal gaan nie. We don't understand what it is people are going through, their challenges and their struggles. Die heks van Heksrivier, jydelheid sal jou tot jou ondergang lei, that your vanity will lead you to your downfall. Wetenskapmannetjies. Mense het verskillende maniere om hulle verwondering met die natuur te wys. Haar uitvaart, waardeur die tyd wat jy op die aarde met ander het. You need to value your time, appreciate your time with each other on earth. In gedig nommer 7, examenlokaal, and just like how you are now, people must now prepare for their exams. Hierdie gedig het in verlede jaar in die November eksamen. Dit was daar al reeds, mense. En dan nommer 8, die dans van die reën. Ons moet die natuur waardeer. Ken jy die see? Mense onderskat. People undermine hoe moeilik ander se werk is. We tend to undermine how difficult another person's job is. Here it's about the fisherman and how the client is always complaining that the fish is too expensive, but he doesn't understand the challenges that the fisherman needs to go through. And the last poem, Sproeireen, elke vrou is unique, spesiaal en moet vertroetel word. I think here Sumaya will agree with us, where it says that every woman is unique, special, and must be pampered. So, yeah, that one is brilliant. Then you need to look at the structure of the poem. The external structure of the poem refers to the stanzas itself and the versiels. So, if a stanza consists of one line, ons noem dit alleenplasing. As dit twee reels is dit 'n couplet of 'n couplet. 3 reels maak dit 'n tersinne. 4 reels is dit 'n kwartrein. 6 reels dan is dit 'n sestet. In 8 reels maak dit 'n oktaaf. So in November 2023, in November 2023, the question read: voltooi die sin. 'n strofe wat uit 4 reels bestaan is 'n, en die antwoord daar is kwartrein. Rhyme patroon, the rhyming pattern. So the most common type of rhyme here is vrye vers, free verse, waar daar is geen vaste rympatroon of rymskema nie, of daar min leestekens gebruik word. Other rhyme schemes include paarrym, kruisrym, omarmde rym en gebroke rym. Reg. We've already discussed the imagery. Okay, very quickly, vergelijking. Basically, comparison is when two things are being compared to each other using the word soos of nes. Byvoorbeeld, die see lyk soos 'n blink geskuurde voorstok. In the poem ken jy die see. So here, die kalm see word vergelyk met iemand se voorstoep wat baie glad is, wat baie blink. So here, the calm sea is being compared to someone's veranda. There is a very smooth and very shiny. A metaphor is a direct comparison of two things without using the word soos. For example, in die gedig, what's it? Die Hanswoord. Reg, hulle sê klein kabouter daar. So die Hanswoord word met 'n kabouter vir dwergie vergelyk. He's being compared to a dwarf. Personificatie, when inanimate objects are given human qualities. In the poem, where is this? Die horlosie tel 2 ure af. Watter gedig is dit? Examenlokaal. Yeah, examenlokaal. Yeah. It says that the clock is counting down. But you know, a clock cannot count down 2 hours. It's a person that can. All right. So the next one would be enjambement. You must know the function of the enjambment. Dit help om die tempo van die gedig te versnel, om die gedig te laat vloei. So it allows the poem to flow, and also indicates that daar slegs een gedagte. There's only one idea in that particular strofe. Dan mense die vraagwoorde. You need to know the common free phrases. For example, if they ask, gee 2 redes waarom, you must answer in 2 separate sentences. Do not join your answers and make it into 1 sentence. Then you'll only get 1 mark instead of 2. Other generic questions that can be asked. Voltooi die volgende paragraaf deur woorde uit die gedig te gebruik. You're going to now complete the following paragraph by using words from the poem. Hierdie is 4 punte, and this is now for 4 marks, and it appeared in November 2023, June 2024, November 2024, and June 2025. So your first question ought to be a 4-mark question in the exam as well. Okay, so it'll be a paragraph where you have to fill in the missing words. The next one is haal 'n reël uit. So here you need to write down the entire line. Do not put there line number 15. It will be marked wrong. So you quote the entire line, use the aanhalingsteken. The next type of question they could ask you is, skryf die volgende gebeure of karakters in die korrekte volgorde. So here you need to now write the following events or thoughts in the correct order. This question came out in November 2024, June 2025. It's for 4 marks. You need to write all the thoughts or all the events in the correct order. You cannot write the numbers. You have to write them out in full sentences. The next question this particular phrase. Hoe slaag die dikte daarin om? How does the poet succeed in? And then the question would continue. Okay, the next one. Pas kolom A met kolom B is usually a 3-mark question. It'll read something like, kies die begrip uit kolom B wat by die aanhaling in kolom A pas. It'll say something like, choose the concept from column B that matches the quotation in column A. So this appeared both in June 2024, November 2024, and June 2025. Okay, then we get to the little bit more difficult questions, vlak 4 and 5, level 4 and 5 questions, where it refers to your emotions. For example, watter emosie het jy ervaar nadat jy die gedig gelees het? So, what emotion did you experience when you read this poem? Hoe voel jy? So, as soon as you see that word jy, they are talking to you. This answer will not be in the poem itself. Okay, so these are describing your feelings. For example, by die gedig haar uitvaart. How did you feel after you read that poem? So you could start like something like, ek het hartseer, of treurig, ontsteld, of wat ook, jammer gevoel vir die meisie. Rek, or they could ask you, waarom kan jy met die inhoud van die gedig pas? Why can you identify with the content of the poem? For example, this poem, Examen Lokaal, you can probably say, ek is besig om 'n eksamen te skryf. Okay, I'm also busy writing an exam right now. Okay, and then also not to forget koppelvrae, double barrel questions. You will find at least 2 of these in each of the genres. So byvoorbeeld, kies die korrekte antwoord uit tussen hakies. So here, they gave you a statement. They said, uit hierdie reëls kan ons aflei dat die dogtertjie onrustig of rustig was terwyl sy na die spreker gekyk het. If you said rustig, which is wrong, automatically your second part of the question will be wrong. So it doesn't matter. So be careful of double barrel questions. Yeah, I think that would be poetry.
Poetry.
Yeah.
And I just want to touch on what you said. Quite often learners think that they're only meant to answer one. Please answer both of the poems. It is on the instructies and inligting. And now if you look at past papers on bladsy 4, page 4, they even give you a controller list, which is a control list, and you tick off what you have answered. And quite often, learners, we tell them, please answer what you've learned in class, but when they go into the exam, they sometimes do forget this, but only answer what you have been taught. But the conductor was summed up perfectly.
Yeah, because you see there are 4 genres here. It's section A, B, C, and D. You've got section A, which is die roman, and you've got 4 questions there. Section B is die drama, and most of our schools are doing Paljas of Villa Second. Section C is the short stories. So here, for short stories, there's 2 short stories, and you answer both. And if your school did gedigte, then you must answer both.
The gedigte, yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
And like I said, there is the controller lace, which they have started putting in now. But answer what you have done. 2 poems.
Yes,
It's always 2 poems.
Because most of the time the child, this is such a thick booklet. There's 45 pages in here, and they try to attempt at the marking center. They start from question 1, and they go right till question 9.
I just want to say, both of us speak such fluent Afrikaans. I don't know when last I heard Afrikaans like that.
Dankie. Yeah, so they will be intimidated, and they have sufficient time for this paper, 2.5 hours. So take time to translate into English, from the English.
Use your reading time. You have 10 minutes of reading time. Use it effectively. But I also want to say to the class of 2025, thank you for entrusting us with the most important thing in your life, which is your education. We've done our bit, and now the rest is up to you.
Correct.
Yes. So I just want to focus on Palyas, which is a drama. And like we have said, please read the instructies and the inlichting as well. Now, with Palyas, at the onset, I always tell the learners, you have to learn the belangrike feite, which is the basis feite, die ruimte, which is the place, the setting. And dit speel af, they can always ask, waar speel die drama af, where does this take place? And it is in the Karoo. Learn at least 1 or 2 facts about each of the characters. And then the theme is important. If you look at past papers, you would notice that there is always that question where you have to fill in missing words. Those words are not given to you. So you have to have a sound knowledge of the drama, of the text that you are answering on. Generally, filling in the blanks is based on the plot. It's a summary of the drama, and like I said, ruimte, the place, is always important, and the theme, the theme in Palyas is important, and it is die eensaamheid, the loneliness, and die gebroken communicatie, the broken communication tussen die McDonald se gesin. And when it comes back to characters, when I say learn at least 1 or 2 facts about each character, and dis altyd belangrik om te onthou hoe die karakters het van die begin tot die einde verander. So you must always remember how the characters change from the beginning to the end of it. So if we look at Willem, for example, aan die begin, hy was angst. It's always important to remember hy lei van 'n angsttoestand, anxiety condition. And the old doctor, so the doctor said that he is bang om te praat, he's scared to praat. Maar aan die einde van Palyas, hy begin weer praat. If we look at Katrein and Hendrik, hulle beklei gereeld, they fight often. Maar aan die einde, hulle is gelukkig. Katrein is gelukkig. And if we look at Emma, aan die begin, sy was skaam, en sy het baie swak selfvertroue, she had low self-confidence, maar in die einde, sy is gelukkig, en sy het meer selfvertroue, sy begin die klavier to speel. Please remember, I know my learners often mix it up, that Katrein, Emma speel die klavier. It is important to remember she plays the piano. So filling in the blanks, it's easy marks. And then also coming back to what Mrs. Pillay said, the volgorde van gebeure, it's always tested. The order of events, it must be in chronological order, and it's 4 easy marks. And again, do not number the sentences because it is not numbered in the question paper. Please write out each sentence. So fill in die ontbrekende woorde, skryf die correct volgorde. These are common questions that have come out in previous papers. Also, the elements, die elemente van die drama. Hoe weet ons dis 'n drama en nie 'n kort verhale? So you have to know about the elements of it. And if you look at the drama, daar is woorde tussen hakies. And the question that was asked in a past paper is, hoekom is die woorde in die tussen, hoekom is daar woorde in tussen hakies? So why are those words in brackets? En jy moet weet, dit is toneel aanwysing, stage directions, want Palyas is a drama. And then again, matching column column A with column B. So pas column A met column B. Very important, again, coming back to characters. Usually, you would have a list of different characters from your text, and you would have to match it to statements that best suit those characters. Or it could also be about the innerlijke of uiterlijke conflict that the characters ervaar. So the conflict, so internal, external conflict. It is important to remember that. If we look at conflict, the innerlijke conflict van Manuel hou baie van die circus. He loves the circus, maar hy ook hou baie, he's baie lief vir die McDonald se gesin. So you must always keep that in mind. But usually when you are matching column A with column B, it has to deal with the characters.
Well, we'll be taking a short ad break and we'll continue after that.
teaching you something new every day. Radio Ansaar.
It's back. Simplex Radio's Black November sale. Bigger and better. Get your hands on the Samsung 70-inch LED TV at only 9,999, saving a massive 3,000 Rand. Plus, we'll throw in a free soundbar.
Save 2,000 Rand on the Sinotech 65-inch LED TV at only 5,999.
Sinotech 32-inch LED TV now at a bargain price of just 1,699.
And get the Hisense 43-inch Full HD Smart TV at a low of 3,499.
Deals are limited. Simplex Radio.
The name you can trust.
This December school holidays, escape to an island paradise with Shore Mirage Travel. Whether it's the white sands of Mauritius, the crystal waters of Zanzibar, or the luxury of the Maldives, your dream island getaway is just a booking away. Packages starting from only 25,999 per person sharing. Unwind, explore, and make unforgettable family memories, all with exclusive December packages tailored just for you. Call Shore Mirage Travel today on 031 208 4222 or visit www.miragetravel.co.za, where your holiday dreams come true.
At this time of trial and worry, the blessings of charity are the ideal means to avoid calamity and despair. The Al Imdad Foundation gives you the opportunity to sponsor a share in a borehole in South Africa for just 1,000 Rand and provide what the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, called the best form of charity. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Africa. For too many communities across Africa and the world, access to clean water remains a dream. At Africa Muslims Agency, we dig deep, reaching into the heart of the earth to fill the cups of those in need. Sponsor a water well for 16,500 Rand, or a borehole in Afghanistan for 55,000 Rand, or Africa for 65,000 Rand, or any amount. With water comes food, health, education, and growth. An ongoing reward with Africa Muslims Agency.
You're listening to School Matters with Sumaya Khan.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, welcome back to School Matters. During these special edition shows, I take a break because I have all the matric examiners, markers, the guys who are also responsible when it comes to even setting the paper. We are so blessed. We have them coming onto a radio during this time, and today we are doing Afrikaans. We have an educator from Centenary, NATASHA PILLAY, and we have an educator from Burnwood, Priyanka. Right, you may continue.
So as I was saying, when you're matching column A with column B, it's always to deal with the characters. And quite often now, I've noticed with paper 2, for the drama, they do ask questions about beeldspraak. So you could also be given a line from the given text, and they could ask you, I think it was in the May 2025, May-June paper, Klein Klits, which was taken directly from Paljas, and you had to say what is soort beeldspraak is dit en verduidelik. So don't only think now that metaphor, vergelijking is only for your gedikte. Dis ook vir jou drama of jou kortverhale ends. Another important thing with Paljas is that die toertjies, Willem het dit van manual geleer. So tricks, Willem learned this from manual, and a common question is, who het manual die McDonald gesin verander? And jy kan kies een karakter. So how did manual change the lives of the McDonald family? And so learn a fact about each character. Willem leer dis beter om te lag as om te huil. And then die aankom van die circus, which was the most important part of the drama, die aankom, the arrival of the circus, and of die gehoor van die brul, the sound of the lion. And dit was wat ons noem die motorisse moment. So please remember that usually that would be in filling in the blanks. So for the first question. And dan die hoogtepunt, Jan Mol het vir Manuel geskit. So when Jan Mol shot Manuel, this was a high point in the drama. And wat leer ons van dit? What do we learn from this? Remember that when Manuel was shot, Hendrik het vir hom versorg. Hendrik took care of him tot hy gesond was, which was unlike Hendrik. Didn't know him, so it is important to know that. En dan die rol van die gemeenskap in die drama. So the role of the community. Remember, dis 'n baie konservatiewe gemeenskap, and die gemeenskap oordeel die McDonald gesin. They judge them. Hulle het hulle oordeel voor hulle hom goed ken. So they judge them before they got to know them. So again, this question could relate to wat 'n belangrike lewensles leer jy? So what important lesson do you learn from the text? En moenie mense oordeel nie sonder om hulle goed te ken. So don't judge people without knowing them. And then wat 'n lewensles het Willem by Manuel geleer? What life lesson did Manuel learn? Did Willem, leer van Manuel? So what important life lesson did Willem learn? Dis beter om te lag as om te huil. And the title is very important because you are always asked about the title. And remember, Paljas, it means magic. And Paljas verwys na 'n wonderwerk. 'n Wonderwerk is a miracle. So Paljas verwys na 'n wonderwerk, en die nar het 'n wonderwerk in die McDonald gesin se lewe gedoen. So Paljas refers to a miracle, and the clown Manuel had a miracle. He performed a miracle in the McDonald's life. And also die simboliese betekenis van sekere goed in die text, the symbolic meaning of certain things in the text. For example, die trein. Wat is die symboliese betekenis van die trein? What is the symbolic meaning of the trains? En as ons onthou, Katrein altyd kyk na die trein en sy wens sy was op die trein. Katrein always looks at the train and she wishes that she was on the train. En dis symbolies van sy is ongelukkig. Sy wil haar lewe ontsnap. And so it's symbolic of how she wants to escape. En dan is daar altyd 'n kerslig. There's altyd 'n kerslig. En dit die symbool daarvan is die eensaamheid van die McDonald gesin. So just to summarize, everything's very important to know. Like I said, at least 1 or 2 facts about each character, die elemente van die drama, die ruimte, en ook die baie belangrike les dat elke karakter van Manuel geleer. The important lessons that each character learned from Manuel. Hoe het die karakters verander? How did they change van die begin tot die einde, from the beginning to the end? And die titel, hoe pas die titel met die tekst? How does the title match the text? Of wat leer ons? And the last 2 questions are always, like Mrs. Pillay said, they refer to jou gevoel. As soon as you say, hoe voel jy oor dit, it is how you feel. Now, please remember that you always have to justify. You kan nie sê, ek voel jammer vir Willem. Maar hoekom? Why do you feel sorry for Willem? And please remember that Willem did go to school. Quite often learners think that because he could not speak, want Willem kan nie praat, hy was by die huis. Nee, hy het by die skool gegaan en onthou die kinders het hom terg. He was always teased because he could not speak. And dit was Jan Mol, dit was nie Frans wat Manuel geskiet. It wasn't Frans that shot Manuel, dit was Jan Mol. En die gemeenskap, onthou hoe die gemeenskap die McDonald gesin behandel by die volstreis dance. At the end, how they were treated at the volstreis dance, and how Hendrik's reaction towards die gemeenskap. Hy het hulle vergewe, en dit was wanneer die McDonald gesin was deel van die gemeenskap. Yeah.
You know, I wish I had you guys. Asif our tech. Asif, wish we had them when we were writing Afrikaans. Huh?
So just one more thing about Paljas. Please also remember, Hendrik was die Stasi meester by die Stasi in
by
Toerwater.
Toerwater.
Toerwater,
Dit
ja.
was die plukbaas of die stasiemeester.
Ja, plukbaas. And Karoo, moenie klein Karoo, because I noticed the marking center, we are now accepting Karoo for Palyas. And vocab, your vocab is important, so learn keywords as well relating to each character. There's some things, right, you can remember that Katrein was ongelukkig en Hendrik, hy altyd dink aan die verlede en hy wil nie oor die probleme van die gesin gepraat. He did not want to speak about the problems in the family, maar aan die einde het almal praat oor hoe hulle gevoel. They all spoke about how they feel, and also very important is that it was Hendrik wat het die gemeenskap vergewe. He forgave them. He invited them to their house en hulle het 'n baie partytjie, 'n groot partytjie gehad. Ja. Dis goed, ja. I think that's it for Palyas. But we know that learners are already in that mood where exams are done. But please don't forget, this is a paper where you can score marks. Don't disadvantage yourself. Because like we said, for whatever is asked in the poems, it's similar to what is asked with the drama, where you're filling in the blanks, matching columns as well. And die lewe les van elke text, life lessons from every text that you learn as well.
Yeah, so I think learners need to remember that in order for them to pass this paper, they need at least 21 marks.
Yes.
And our learners usually do.
Did you say 21 marks?
Yes,
21.
21.
They only need 21 to pass this paper. So, in fact, this is one of the papers where our learners do so poorly because of the lack of woordeskat and their lack of comprehension. And so they just let this paper go. But if you allow yourself, because you've got so much of time, if you allow yourself to look for the 21 marks, be bright about what you're doing. Look for the 6.1 question, which will be for 4 marks. Look for those 4 words. Then you look at 6.9. 6.9 is matching column A with column B. You've got the characters on one side and you've got the situation on the other side. And if you try and figure out, if you perhaps block out the difficult words and try and make sense of the rest of it, perhaps you can get yourself another 4 marks. So also with the folk order, that's another 4 marks for you. So if you put that is already 12 marks in the bag.
And keep your sentences simple. 1 mark, we want 1 sentence. And like Mrs. Pillay said, it's your vocab. Learn at least 1 or 2 keywords about each character as well. Tema, the theme is important, right? Also with the folk order, it is always there. So know the order of events thoroughly. It must be in chronological order.
Yes, and also with the questions, kies die correcte antwoord. Mense, it says choose the correct answer. It's A, B, C, or D. So the answer is there. It's a matter of you understanding what the question is and what they expect. Okay, so that one. And then the other kies die correcte antwoord is when you choose. There's 2 words within the brackets.
Yes.
So
the koppelvraag.
Yeah, so the answer is in front of you. It's a matter of you now understanding the question and then trying to answer that one.
And remember, learners, you have 2.5 hours. Like I said, use your reading time. If you are answering die gedigte first, if you're going to answer the poems first, you have to state that you are, write your headings. And please, you've got 30 pages, I think, in that answer book.
Yeah.
Start each question on a new page, because at the marking center, it becomes very difficult. Sometimes learners start answering the poem. Halfway through the poem, they just write down afdeling, and then they start with the drama. Don't do that. Complete each question before you go on to the next question.
Oh, and one more thing, at the marking center, learners, you must leave a line after each answer. Otherwise, it becomes too cluttered, and you must know these markers are marking from
6:30. We start at 6:30.
And sometimes
in the morning.
Yes, and then we'll finish about 5:30. So markers are tired, and if you're not going to do these little things, it's going to make it could leave you in a position where you're going to get it wrong because they couldn't see it or whatever it is. So leave a line after each one.
And I feel that while you are preparing for this paper, make a mind map, especially when it comes to the drama. Make a mind map for each character, their characteristics on one side, the beginning of the drama towards the end. Write down what the theme is. Have keywords so that when you go into that paper, even if you write that on your question paper, it's a starting point for you to recall your information. Write down the list of characters. What was who Vasala? Scrape een of twee sinne, 1 or 2 sentences about them. Write down your vocab. If we look, and we know in Paljas, most of the questions are always relating to Manuel and hoe hy het hulle lewens verander. En ook die gemeenskap. Remember, daar was kinderstories oor die McDonald gesin. There were gossip stories about the McDonald family. That Willem doen Devil's
aanbidding.
So those things are important. As we're speaking about it now, the vocab is coming to us. So do it like that.
Yeah, there'll always be that question where they'll say aan die begin en aan die einde. So remember, at the beginning, you get a mark for saying whatever happened to them at the beginning, how they were. For example, if you were talking about Catherine, perhaps she was frustrated with her life. And then at the end, how all of that changed when the communication in the family started. And she was happy again. So for 2 marks, you have to give both sides of the story. Otherwise, you'll just get the one and you'll lose the other. So those type of questions are important. So look at the mark scheme. So you will know how much is expected of you to write.
And look at past papers as well. Your best source of revision as well is the past papers, because like I said, that's when we notice now volkorde is always there. Pas column A met column B. Vul in die onbrekende woorde. And with poetry, it was always questions. Now, to allow, to give learners an advantage, they are asking you to fill in missing words.
Missing words.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know you have it in you. You just need to learn your word discard. That is key to it all. Learn word discard so you can understand and you can answer.
And don't blank out. If there's a question that you do not understand, don't blank out. Because sometimes always refer to the question before that. That may help you. Underline, highlight words that you know within the question, and you would be able to figure it out. And like I said, we've done our bit. The rest is up to you. And you've come this far, or it's just onward and upward from here.
Also, learners, remember, question words. There's some of you out there that still don't know your simple or your basic question words. The wie, the wat, the waarom, the hoekom. Verduidelik in jou eie woorde. Hoe slaag die dramaturg daarin? How does the dramaturg is the person who's written the drama. How does he succeed in? So the keywords. The other one is waarheid lei jy af. From what can you conclude? Okay, so those question words. When you get your question paper, perhaps you may highlight on the question paper, but not in your answer booklet. Okay, because apparently the ink seeps through.
No highlighters.
No highlighters in your answer books. But you can highlight question words on the question paper. Perhaps it will help you find the question words easier. And also, one other thing, if they tell you, gee een woord of haal een reël
just one of enkele word is also a single word, one word.
Because as soon as you don't understand that part, it is wrong. If they ask you for enkele word and you gave the whole sentence, it'll be wrong.
It's wrong.
So it's important that whenever you see capital letters in the question, pay attention to it. It's there for a reason.
And who means how, not as in who did that. HOE, please remember, it means how. Because quite often learners think who, because it's who in Afrikaans, it's who in English. No.
Yeah, they anglicize it.
Yes.
It's true.
Asif, if you wrote your Afrikaans now with this tuition shot, you're definitely going to do well.
I do okay.
You do okay.
So you'll get over the line.
Gosh, But you guys are like so good in it. You know, Afrikaans and maths generally are like the subjects where everyone just grits their teeth.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not an easy subject.
No, and Afrikaans is always the last paper. And by this stage, our learners are fatigued. They're just worrying about putting, that 2.5 hours to be up, but it's the last one, and done.
And sometimes we find that's a bit selfish.
Yes, we're always fighting. We want.
We're like always the underdog.
Yes,
and it's
but
not
generally,
fair.
the languages used to be more
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maths with the languages. I mean, generally that's the norm with exams. But would you say that Afrikaans is all high schools do Afrikaans? Because in primary schools they don't do Afrikaans. They have a choice, and this is a disadvantage because like a lot of learners from grade R right to grade 7 they are doing isiZulu, and then there they are going to a high school. And Afrikaans they have to do.
Yes.
And that is the problem we are experiencing at
because
our
you have
school.
the feeders, you all are the feeders of our schools.
Because the feeder schools are not offering the subject. I don't know what the reason is. And I'm not sure if their language policy is correct or they can't find a teacher or whatever it is. Because when they come to grade 8, it is so difficult because we have to push curriculum.
That is so true.
And there's no time. So perhaps we were looking at perhaps suspending the curriculum for January to bridge the gap. So maybe perhaps for a month or so.
I know
try.
Learners who did in grade 8 did Afrikaans for the first time. They were actually doing like grade 3 and grade 4 because it is the first time. It's overwhelming. So that is why I always feel like I know it's a bit too far-fetched or your goal is too ahead. But think now, I mean, this primary school, which high school I'm going to go to? And try to work around there. You know, like parents should look in some direction.
Because we have to fill in the gaps for that where it was lacking in the junior primary. It is difficult. And the problem is grade 8, they go up to grade 12. And like I said, simple words, they don't know. It is very difficult.
But that's something I think which the district national needs to look into.
They need to consider that because it's really it's difficult for our grade 8 educators to try and bring them up to speed, because I know like this year we had about 130 learners and 80% of them didn't do Afrikaans.
Gosh.
So it's
a challenge.
It's very,
and you know, it's something which everyone tends to overlook because we're focusing so much on different aspects. Admin has taken over in education.
Yes, it's all about the paperwork.
Exactly. And we've lost that touch. But again, we are just machines and robots just following, going on. Advice, parting words before you guys leave?
Like I said, I'd like to thank the class of 2025. My learners at Burnwood Secondary, they've been with me from grade 8.
Me too.
And they've got this. Like I said, it's onward and upward. Thank you for trusting us with your education.
To my learners at Centenary Secondary School, I know you're all listening out there. Sterkte almal met die vraestel 2. All the best. Good luck to you. Julle het so hard gewerk. Julle junie eksamens en die proefeksamen vraestel 2 het julle so goed gewerk. So vertrou op wat julle weet en onthou julle is amper daar, you almost there now, en maak elke punt tel. Make every mark count, guys. You can do it.
Yeah, dankie.
Dankie.
Dankie, mevrou. So now, as we wrap up this evening's program, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our guests, Natasha and Priyanka, taking the time to be a grade 12 Afrikaans educators. They went the extra mile to support our grade 12 learners, not only in their school, but you who's listening right now, the class of 2025. Your guidance and expertise will truly help our learners perform with confidence in their Afrikaans paper. A special thank you to Asif, our tech, for making everything smooth and run successfully. I think after listening to today's on-air tuition, he's definitely going to rewrite that Afrikaans paper. Never he said. But it's only 20% you need. 20% for this paper. Well, to our learners listening, don't give up. Keep pushing, keep striving, and remember your hard work today shapes your future tomorrow. Until next week, Tuesday, this is Sumaya Khan and School Matters. Stay safe and stay motivated. Assalamu alaikum.
La ilaha illallah, la ilaha
You are listening to School Matters with Sumaya Khan.
Radio Ansaar, 24/7, 365.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Ansaar News.
Making news this hour, 18th of November. The news from Durban, 90.4 FM, Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM. Premier time in Tuli is